Friends, what's up? Today I would like to talk to you about the V structure. As you know, it's a structure that the Chinese companies use to sell their shares or the ownership of their companies to foreign investors, be it US or Hong Kong. They also sell their shares on mainlands, but foreign investors cannot buy them. And today, that has existed for 20 years, this V structure. And today came this news from Bloomberg saying the following, that China is planning to ban companies from going public on foreign stock markets through variable interest entities, so VIEs, according to people familiar with the matter. The same people probably there were familiar with the matter of the Didi delisting, but which came to be true. The ban, intended in part to address concerns over data security, is among changes included in the new draft of the China's overseas listing rules that may be finalized ASAP. So as soon as this month, said the people, asking not to be identified, discussing private information. Companies using the so-called V structure would still be allowed to pursue initial public offerings in Hong Kong, subject to regulatory approval. Okay, so then Bloomberg confirms that China Security Regulatory Commission said on its website Wednesday today that a media report about banning the overseas listing of companies using V structure is not true. So in a month time or within a month, we will see who is right. Was Bloomberg or the rumors correct, or was the Chinese regulatory agency? So companies currently listed in the US and Hong Kong that use V's would need to make adjustments so their ownership structures are more transparent in regulatory reviews, especially in the sector of limits for foreign investments, the people said. It's unclear if that would mean a revamp of shareholders or more drastically a delisting of the most sensitive firms. Moves that could revive fears of a decoupling between China and US in an area like technology. So probably they're referring here to Tencent, Alibaba, Baidu, technology companies which use a lot of data, and China doesn't want this data to go elsewhere, or doesn't want this data to go out of China, as it doesn't want this data to go out of China in Didi's example. That's why it's doing the delist of Didi. So after they're talking about the Didi here, that yes, it happened, and it's all part of a year-long campaign to curb the breakneck growth of China's internet sector, and what Beijing has termed a reckless expansion of private capital. Banning V's from foreign listing would close a gap that's been used for decades, so two decades actually, 20 years, by technology firms from Alibaba to Tencent to sidestep restrictions on foreign investment and list offshore. Basically, this is, and the China Securities Regulatory Commission didn't immediately respond to request for comment, but they already said that this news was untrue. So while a universal ban on V structure isn't being contemplated, a halt on foreign listings and additional review for Hong Kong IPOs would mean the model would no longer be a viable way for many startups to tap capital markets. So basically you have the before market, so those who use Visa now, so who came on the market already, and those who didn't. Okay, so they're talking about the companies which are about, would want to do an IPO via the V structure. Some investment banks have already been advised by regulators to stop work on new deals involving V's, a person familiar with the matter said. So here we see that it has nevertheless enable Chinese companies to bypass the rules of the foreign investments before in sensitive sectors, including internet industry. So the structure allows Chinese firms to transfer profits to an offshore entity registered in places like BVI with shares that foreign investors can then own. So they're explaining the V structure here. So basically, my 2 cents on it is that the trend is clear. I think that we will, as I said, we have this real risk of delisting, not from the US side or only the US side. We have the risk of delist from the China. And this is what is happening. This crackdown is happening from China. So we will see in the next month if this story unfolds, but I think that it will unfold. So I would, or I'm saying what I'm doing, I'm trimming all my investments, be it Xpeng, be it Neo, Liafto I sold already, Baba I'm holding because I lost 50% on it, so I have a small, position in them. If I lose everything, doesn't matter, but it will be interesting. So the list or the V structure adjustments can also be different, and we will see how it is made with or in case with Didi, because as I said in my previous YouTubes that the delist can happen in 3 ways. First, they can delist at the IPO price, which in case of Didi would be great. Second, they can just transfer you to the Hong Kong at today's discounted price, but if they do that, the price probably will go up because you will no longer have the delisting issue. Or third, they can just not pay you anything at all, and that would be a disaster. So depending on which case they delist or how they delist Didi, we will see how the V structure issue will take place. And even if the case is the worst scenario and they will delist, we will know how they will delist by taking the example of Didi. So basically, that's my take on it, my friends. Invest cautiously, with cautious, and good luck to you, my friends. Bye.